So a bunch of Assassin's Creed fans have expressed their concerns over leaks suggesting that the next game in the franchise could have an even larger map than Assassin's Creed Valhalla. And now with E3 just finishing, we have got some looks at a brand new AC expansion which is going into 2022, as well as some other little bits of some new combat modes and some brand new DLC which we'll be seeing in the next couple of months. It was a pretty exciting time to be an Assassin's Creed fan. Now there is currently very little information about a new title in the series. However, with a leak suggesting that the newest Assassin's Creed game could have an even larger map than previous iterations, a lot of us and a lot of fans, including myself, have taken to their different social media platforms to express their concerns. Now, the last two games in this hit franchise, Assassin's Creed Valhalla and Assassin's Creed Odyssey, have had more expansive maps than previous installments and have performed incredibly well. Valhalla had the strongest opening week of any game in the franchise, and with help from bonus content added to Odyssey, 2021 saw record-breaking sales for the series as of March 31. While the global pandemic has likely had an impact on sales figures, the direction of the franchise's most recent titles should be taken well into account. And while continually expanding the map size of Assassin's Creed Valhalla has clearly helped to propel the future to greater sales figures than ever, fans of the game are concerned that this constant striving for more in-game space may detract from the once story-driven series. Many people suggested that they would rather have a smaller, more detailed space than a more expansive but ultimately emptier sandbox. Several commenters weren't impressed with Valhalla's gameplay space in particular, saying that the game is full of fluff and that it felt unpolished due to its size. A Redditor went on to say that Ubisoft, we don't want bigger maps, we want Creed and Brotherhood involvement. That's what made the earlier entry successful. Enlarging the maps equals less Creed lore, at least that's how they've done it in the recent games, and we don't want this. Others did defend Ubisoft though, with many enjoying Valhalla's world and stating that it was detailed enough while still having an expansive feel to it, and others simply saying that they actually want larger maps. While many commentators suggested that they don't have hundreds of hours to spend on gigantic RPGs, others were happy to get more bang for their buck, as it were. The divide in the community over the size of the next Assassin's Creed games is certainly obvious. However, with so little information out there about the game, these new concerns may be slightly premature. New Assassin's Creed games have certainly changed the formula of the franchise, with a focus on RPG mechanics such as tech trees and leveling systems. Many fans seem to be calling for a return to the tighter focus of the first games in the series. This is certainly an argument to be made against developers making huge game worlds that are mostly empty space with very little detail or content. However, with recent titles outperforming the older games in terms of sales, it is arguably that Ubisoft, from their perspective, is giving the fans what they want, but that really isn't the case. Now, either way I look at it is, the reason why Assassin's Creed in its first opening weeks had such a big sell was because of the marketing with Basim. Basim, this new assassin who wears robes like Altair from the previous game, is coming back to Assassin's Creed. You have a hidden blade, it looks awesome, and you'll be trained by this mentor. That was all what was promised in the game's marketing, but it didn't come to fruition. We also had a bunch of different Templar stuff, thinking, oh, could this be the game that bridges the gap between Templars and Assassins, the hidden ones, the ones who came before, all this stuff? But no, that never happened. All we got was some filler content and no mention of Templars whatsoever. Well, okay, we did get the hidden ones, branches and stuff like that, but that was, not gonna lie, that was a bit shit. My perfect AC game would play out like this. We'd have similar combat to what we had in the previous games, except a bit more upgraded. Think Unity's combat, Unity's parkour, and Unity's upgrading system, which allowed for an RPG elements as well as different skill trees, but kept it all within the Assassin's Creed story. We'd then have proper cutscenes similar to how we see within games like PlayStation's exclusives such as The Last of Us, Spider-Man, all these different games but set within the world. And then the open world would be similar to Spider-Man, Marvel Spider-Man to be exact. It had a fantastic open world that felt lived in, that felt brilliant, and it was wide enough to be able to allow fans to do whatever they want with the movement system, and the parkour in would be amazing. And then the story, we'd go back to previous games where we would focus on the modern day, maybe with Desmond's son. We then have elements of Assassin versus Templar, and when we go back in time, it is set in stone, either playing as a Templar trying to take down the Assassins, or an Assassin trying to take down the Templars. And I know what we all want, and Ubisoft know what we all want. We want a Shao Jun Assassin's Creed game, and Ubisoft, you have to give us it at some point. It's what the fans want, and I personally want it as well, and it would be awesome to go to China and play as Shao Jun. Now, ladies and gentlemen, let me know what you think about about this in the comment section down below. Do you like this new format of Assassin's Creed games, or would you like to go back to the previous entries, or like me, you want something that's right in the middle but with a brilliant assassin story? Let me know in the comment section down below. Also guys, we have a Discord where we'll be chatting about all of this and more. Link is in the description. Join the BPRGaming Nation, and I hope to see you over there. If you enjoyed, a like would be greatly appreciated, and subscribe if you are new for some more Assassin's Creed content. I hope you all have an amazing day, and I'll see you in the next video.